Gaza crisis. On calls for immediate ceasefire, an emergency session backed a statement calling for a truce over the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr and beyond. On Sunday, Israel and Palestinian militants continued their offensives despite a 24-hour ceasefire announced by Hamas. More than 1,030 Palestinians, mostly civilians, and 43 Israeli soldiers and 2 Israeli civilians have been killed. A Thai national in Israel has also died. The Gaza Health Ministry on Sunday revised the number of dead down by 30 after some relatives found missing family members. The UN Security Council endorsed a statement from Rwanda, the current president of the council, calling for a durable truce based on an Egyptian initiative, under which a pause in hostilities would lead to substantive talks on the future of Gaza, including the opening of Gaza's border crossings. The statement also emphasized that civilian and humanitarian facilities, including those of the UN, must be respected and protected. It further stressed the need for immediate provision of humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian civilian population in the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian representative at the UN, Riyad Mansour, said the statement did not go far enough, saying a formal resolution was needed demanding that Israel withdraw its forces from Gaza. On Sunday, Israel rejected a truce announced by Hamas, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying, Israel will do what it must do to defend its people. Hamas fired more rockets into Israel, accusing it of failing to abide by the ceasefire. President Barack Obama also called for an immediate, unconditional humanitarian ceasefire in a phone call to Mr. Netanyahu on Sunday. He added that a long-term solution would have to allow Palestinians in Gaza to lead normal lives and must ensure the disarmament of terrorist groups and the demilitarization of Gaza. Mr. Obama may have felt compelled to make the call after some embarrassment to his Secretary of State, John Kerry, in Israel, the BBC's Salih Makboul reports from Washington. Mr. Kerry's ceasefire plan was rejected, and his character was attacked in sections of the Israeli media. Mr. Obama may also feel that after the weekend where brief ceasefires help expose the full extent of the destruction in parts of Gaza, he had to be seen to be condemning it. Our correspondent at a 12-hour pause on Saturday enabled Gaza residents to gather supplies and retrieve bodies buried under the rubble. Israel later accepted the unrequested 24-hour ceasefire until the end of Sunday, although it said ground forces would continue to destroy tunnels used by Hamas. However, the Israeli military announced on Sunday morning it had decided to resume its air, ground and naval raids on Gaza in response to incessant rocket fire from Hamas, which has controlled Gaza since seizing power there in 2007. Shortly after Israeli raids resumed, Hamas said it had decided to agree to a humanitarian truce, starting at 1400 hours local time 11 o'clock GMT. The pause was as a preparation for the end of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan and in response to the mediation and also regarding our people's living circumstances. But Israel resumed airstrikes with Mr. Netanyahu telling CNN, Hamas doesn't even accept its own ceasefire. It's continuing to fire at us as we speak. Israel launched its military offensive on July 8 with the declared objective of stopping Hamas firing rockets from Gaza into Israel. On July 18, it extended operations with a ground offensive, saying it was necessary to destroy tunnels dug by militants to infiltrate Israel. Also on Sunday, the Israeli army admitted it fired a mortar round into the courtyard of the UN shelter in Gaza on Thursday in a clash with militants but denied it was responsible for the deaths of at least 15 people. Despite rising concern about military casualties, support in Israel for the offensive remains widespread, the BBC's Bethany Bell reports from Jerusalem, as people see the country as being under attack.